No, this is not a typo. We're starting off in Maine. Maine. And I know a lot of you guys are like, Odd Nation? Y'all, I know the subject, know the tenor of his channel. There's nothing like that going on in Maine. I mean, I know he did some stories about Salt Lake City, and he's been doing a lot of stuff on Salt Lake City lately. And Salt Lake City's looking like a very, sunny area now. But Maine? No, folks, this is not a typo. This is not a test. You're not at the wrong channel. Maine.
Please join me in congratulating Mayor Dollock.
A historic moment in South Portland last night. Decca Dollock is believed to be the city's first Muslim mayor. Dollock was elected to the city council back in 2018 and was thought to be the first Muslim person to serve in that role as well. The council decided to elevate her to the mayoral position earlier this year. Dollock says it will be good for the city and for the state to see someone different in this role.
So that whole diversity just for the sake of diversity, it's so patronizing. It doesn't make any sense. So we're just going to have this person be the mayor, or this person be the CEO, this person be the head of whatever, because they like everyone else. They don't look like the people who used to run this place. For the record. This place was the top country in the world with the people who were running it. Whether you want to say, oh, they're all racist, heterosexual white males. I mean, look, man. This country was the number one country in the world. People are still, even with the erosion and the degradation of this country over the last several years, people are still swimming across the Gulf of Mexico in inner tubes. Nigerian dudes are marrying fat glacier glider women that look like the Michelin Man mixed with grandpa off of The Family Guy, just to get a visa or green card to get over here. Okay? So let's not overestimate how bad a shape this country was in and how much it needs new faces and diversity. Because this is Maine, and I can tell you right now, if this is what Maine is doing with its mayors, the cities in Maine have son sisters as mayors, just for the sake of it, not because of they have any new plans or agendas that are going to help, just for the sake of it, you're going to start seeing Maine on Ock Nation News a lot more.
Well, the council decided to elevate her to the mayoral position earlier this year. Dollock says it will be good for the city and for the state to see someone different in this role.
So I see it in a policy making is the same as a city councilor, but as a mayor is going to be the face of the city. So it's going to be a really good thing that you have a different person who look like me being the face of the city. It shows that in Maine we are really welcoming state.
Dollock is getting some national attention for this, too. The Council on American Islamic Relations shared this with us in a statement, saying it hopes that Mayor Dollock will help inspire a new generation of American Muslims.
These properties need to get shut down. They need to get shut down.
A troubled North Side apartment complex is facing more problems tonight. tenants now say enough is enough. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm Amber Grigley. First responders have responded to Lakeside Point at Nora apartment complex more than 70 times this year, most recently for a shooting yesterday. But crime and fires aren't the only issues there. WRTV's Rachel Wilkerson has been digging into complaints filed by the health department for poor living conditions. Amber, the Marion County Public Health Department says it's received around 107 complaints within the last 6 months.
It's treacherous over here.
Residents at Lakeside Point at Nora Apartments are concerned about their safety following a string of fires, shootings, and what they say are unlivable conditions.
And listen, man, this is what you get with Democratic policies, man. Okay? This is what you get. This is what you sign up for. Okay? Yeah, you're going to have WIC, TANF, a bunch of programs, a bunch of anti-violence programs, and everybody's going to get a 501c3 and get a piece of the, government pie. And everybody all the little people going to get some government cheese. But this is what you're signing up for. This is America. This is Indianapolis. Peyton Manning, man. This is Peyton Manning. Tony Dungy, man. A third world country, Jack. This is where Stimulus Man was from. The guy killed his girlfriend's, his baby mother's whole family over the stimulus check. This is where he was from. This is where the little rapper who earlier this year killed his whole family because his dad told him he had to come in for the night. Killed his whole family. Everybody in the whole family. It's like 5 or 6 people. This place is the third world, and no one talks about it because how can you get to Indianapolis? You got New York, you got Chicago, you got Atlanta, you got D.C., you got Baltimore, you got St. Louis. I mean, by the time you get Indianapolis, is got to take a number, man, and wait in line, man. Your wait time will be longer than usual, but this is Indianapolis, Jack.
Residents at Lakeside Point at Nora Apartments are concerned about their safety following a string of fires, shootings, and what they say are unlivable conditions.
Black mold, water leaks, you name it.
The health department has issued several notices of violation for mold in the carpet, ceiling, and walls, roaches, electrical problems, plumbing, and more. 28 cases with multiple violations were filed in November and 4 cases on December 1st. This video sent to us by a resident today shows the condition inside his unit.
It's a lot of people from different countries that live here. They don't get treated right. And I don't think it's right.
The Indianapolis Fire Department has responded to 20 fires here this year.
How many of y'all live in an apartment building that's had one fire this year? Talk. Let's open up the dialogue, man. I lived in an apartment building. Yeah, the police came. We had a lot of, the police came a lot similar to this one. Don't get me wrong. 20 fires? I think we had one shooting. And that was outside. That was but a guy in the apartment got hit. But that's the only one that I can think of. I can't think of any fires. This is America. This is Indianapolis. This is a democratically run city. And if he's a Democrat, it really doesn't matter what group he comes from. Their policies destroy cities. Some way, somehow now. They all don't have the same path of destruction. But this guy's in charge of that city, this Democrat. And he's running it into the ground. And he's most certainly going to be reelected.
The Indianapolis Fire Department has responded to 20 fires here this year. A recent blaze cost more than 20 people their home.
That was the last straw. That was icing on the cake right there. When I seen that, I was like, man, I got to get out of here. Because it's unsafe. I don't want to come home after work and then see my place burnt up. I'd rather sleep in my car.
Residents and community members are frustrated with the property owners.
They have not even demolished the burned out buildings. That's the least they could do.
We got water damage to our apartments. Our windows are painted still shut, and that's one of the biggest things right now, especially since we just had a fire 2 weeks ago, and now we're back with this fire, and then the front office burned down. There's just fires everywhere.
The Attorney General's office filed a lawsuit against the property owners in July. It tells us it's working to schedule a mediation to resolve all issues before the end of the year, but some residents say that's not enough.
These apartments just need to get shut down. You know, that's the bottom line. They need to just shut them down because it's going to get worse.
In the meantime, we've had fires. We've had people had to leave, no place to go. We've had crime, shootings, and I blame it all on the judge right now because the judge did not act as he should have when it first came into his court.
Working for you, Rachel Wilkerson, WRTV. Thanks, Rachel, for that update. WRTV has been following this story for years. For all of our coverage, head over to our website at WRTV.com. WRTV is getting answers from Metro Police during this record-breaking violent year. Indianapolis has seen its highest number of homicides ever, 251. Tonight,
251 people have been murdered in Indianapolis this year. Off to the gun memorial. Okay, so 61% gliders and 28.5, let's just round up, 29% sun men, sun people. Man, that's a lot of sun people, Jack. Almost 30%. Jeez. Okay. So. Hey, man, you got a couple of, you got a nice, smattering of gliders here, man. Charles C.J. Beasy, Ralph Burgess Jr. So, woman shot him and killed him. His name was Beasy. Oh, he was with it. A woman is behind bars accused of murder and arson. Police arrested 27-year-old Brittany Snellbacher. Wow, she's 27. Wow. After extinguishing the fire, they found a man dead on the basement steps. The coroner ruled Burgess had been shot and stabbed and set on fire. Luke Pondexter, the Indianapolis Star man fatally shot in the street at Rosewood Commons on city's northwest side. IMPD has confirmed the person has died after being shot on the 4500 block of Rosewood Commons. Someone called 911 after hearing gunshots in the area. When the caller looked out the window, someone was laying on the road. Police said they don't believe the victim, an adult male, lived in the apartments in the area and are unsure why he was there. His car was running when they found his body. When Fox 59 asked if it was a robbery, police said they were unsure. Could you imagine if this was a son, man, that was killed? The IMPD major, Kerry Buckner, said, "Don't do illegal activities after dark. Know who you're dealing with, and if you're going to sell things online like phones and tennis shoes, we have a program where you can go to one of our roll calls and an officer will meet you to make sure you are safe while you're meeting and selling your stuff." So the police think he went there to sell some stuff. And I don't know why I have to keep telling you guys this. I mean, under no circumstance. I'm talking about never. Me. If I want to, don't meet me nowhere. Because it's going to give you a false sense of security. You're going to get comfortable. Oh, I've done that before. I met a guy. They're harmless. You're going to be like the greatest. You're going to be talking about with teddy bears. Don't. Wow. Man, 22 years old, gone. So yeah, usual suspects, yada, 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 yada. But they have more gliders than you usually see in other cities on their, gun war. "17-year-old. Video released of suspect in shooting of 17-year-old killed in front of younger brother." Wow. Police Tuesday morning said investigators learned Mitchell was playing curveball with his younger brother when the shooting started. Detectives said an unknown black male wearing a light hoodie and dark pants walked out of a nearby alley and shot the teen. The suspect is described as 5'6" tall and about 160 pounds. Police say the suspect was armed with a handgun and was last observed running west from the scene. Video footage provided by police shows a person wearing a gray hooded sweatshirt walking through a residential area. Wow, 17-year-old kid gone.
WRTV is getting answers from Metro Police during this record-breaking violent year. Indianapolis has seen its highest number of homicides ever, 251. Tonight, Rachel Wilkerson shows us how detectives are working to keep up with the investigations to bring families closure. Gun violence is taking a toll on families.
These are mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, sons, kids. I mean, these are really tragic times, and it's not lost on me when we talk about record-breaking.
And some fear their loved ones' cases will never be solved.
The holidays coming up, it's getting a little emotional. Christmas really hits hard for me.
I want my son's case to be solved. But there's other parents that I've met 2-3 years down the line, and they're still at day one as well. That makes no sense. That just gives me no hope.
Parents who have shared their frustrations say there aren't enough homicide detectives to handle the cases.
Hit one of you've heard me say before, if you remove the Sun people from these cities, even Indianapolis, we've got you think they would have enough homicide detectives if they removed the Sun people from the city? Even with all the gliders we see getting killed up here? Because a lot of those gliders wouldn't be dead. But I always tell you guys, if you remove the Sun population from a lot of these cities, you wouldn't need a homicide division. Okay, so as you read here, Indianapolis has 33 homicide detectives. 33. Do you think they would need 3 if you move the Sun population from this town? Now, 33 is not enough. That's the thing, that's the problem they're having now. 33 is not enough. They're bringing in help. They're bringing in some new, a lot more detectives to help them with these cases because these sisters are complaining a year after screaming defund the police. Nevertheless, 33 you wouldn't need 3. Three detectives could handle the whole city. You'd have a murder every month. If you take away the ones that were killed by the Sun men who would be removed, if we're talking about, hypothetically, you remove the Sun population. Maybe even less. Maybe murder every other month. You'd need 2 full-time and 1, alternate, a reserve homicide detective. You wouldn't need 33, and certainly you wouldn't be saying 33 isn't enough.
The holidays coming up, it's getting a little emotional. Christmas really hits hard for me.
I want my son case to be solved. But there's other parents that I've met 2-3 years down the line, and they're still at day one as well. That makes no sense. That just gives me no hope.
Parents who have shared their frustrations say there aren't enough homicide detectives to handle the cases. With 251 homicides this year, 129 remain unsolved, according to IMPD Deputy Chief Kendall Adams.
Certainly we're not at the level I think we should be at. And I'm going to keep pushing in 2022 to get more detectives in homicide. And one area that doesn't get a lot of attention is in our non-fatal shootings.
Adams says the goal is to get 38 detectives into the homicide unit. Right now, the department has 33, but one is retiring soon and the other is moving to cold cases. To help relieve some of the caseload stress, Adams says they've moved detectives from the financial crimes unit to homicide.
How many cases are detectives averaging right now to try to keep up?
I think the last time I looked at it, we were about 9, somewhere between 8 and 9 cases per detective. The national average is anywhere from 4 to 6.
You got a detective working 9 murders at one time. I mean, come on, man. How do you keep it straight? How do you keep the evidence from this case and the evidence? How does a detective not make mistakes? You visiting the witness. Which case is this witness for? What piece of evidence is this? And this guy, look, I mean, they got a budget. He's doing what he can. I can't knock this guy. It's not his fault. It's definitely not his fault. I mean, he's trying to get more, 5 more. I don't think that's going to be enough. But yeah, the national average is around 4 to 6. So that's reasonable. You got, but God, they're working these. And listen, the national average is brought down by all the glider towns. I'm sure if you take the Democrat strongholds, the Atlanta, the Chicago, Louisville, the Jackson, Mississippi, Orlando, St. Louis, Baltimore, I'm sure it's around 9 per detective. in all those places. I'm sure all those places are seeing the same problem. But this is Indianapolis. Indianapolis.
How many cases are detectives averaging right now to try to keep up?
I think the last time I looked at it, we were about 9, somewhere between 8 and 9 cases per detective. The national average is anywhere from 4 to 6.
He says he understands parents' frustration, but says recruiting has been difficult.
If I'm an officer that works the street today, I'm not sure I want to go to homicide, right? Because I'm gonna be working a lot. I'm gonna have a lot more cases.
Working for you, Rachel Wilkerson, WRTV.
Chief Adams says if a family feels they are not getting the proper communication from their detective, to call the homicide supervisor or his office. You can see those numbers on your screen now. They are 317-327-3475 and 317-327-37.